Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing an updated type of video. Going to be updating, giving my thoughts now that the first half of The Walking Dead Season 5 is over. TV series has come to a close until February. Thought it'd be fun to go ahead and update who are the top 10 greatest characters so far in the series. Okay, so this was a viewer requested topic, so I'm going to go ahead and do it for you guys. Spoiler warning for anyone who's not caught up on the show. So that said, I think WatchMojo.com, they did theirs. You know, WatchMojo is a huge site. It was a site before it was a YouTube channel, that kind of thing. So it's humongous, and they went ahead and they did theirs, you know, their top 10 greatest characters. So I decided, you know, I've kind of done stuff like that before. I've done like my top 10 favorites, you know, that kind of thing. This one I'll do my opinion on the top 10 greatest characters. So up until this point, you know, characters that have either reached a certain audience, have developed quite a bit, have evolved, have changed, and are just really interesting or fun to watch, fun to check out. So there's been some changes to my list from my previous videos that I did last season break and, you know, the season before, that kind of thing. It changes as the seasons go through, obviously, as characters get more concentration, others change. For example, Tyrese was somebody I did have on the list, but I'm going to have to go ahead and remove him from the list. In Season 4, at the end of Season 4, I felt like he deserved to be there. Now, I kind of feel like Tyrese is at this wishy-washy place where before he seemed more badass, now he's kind of, people call him The Walking Dead, you know, new Hershel 2.0 type thing, because he's kind of got that I won't kill type thing, and then it ends up causing Bob to lose his leg. he may have died anyway, but you know, it just what's happened with Tyrese has bumped him off the list for me. Also, Beth, even though she's had a lot of concentration lately, and I wanted to put her on the list. I was trying to find a reason. I'm like, man, I should put her on the list, you know, because she did end up being a great character in the end. Even still, there was too many other characters that over the course of the seasons had either more time or just were, you know, more memorable or just all around better characters, even though Beth is fresh in everyone's mind because of how the first half of Season 5 ended, which makes sense, you know, and she is a great character by herself. She became an awesome character in the end, and I saw her pull in a new audience for that character out there in the world into the Walking Dead universe, where a lot of people, you know, that kind of people that can relate to Beth, female, you know, viewers around the same age, that kind of thing. I saw a lot more people get pulled into the series as a result of having that character there. So a great character, but one that just didn't make the list for me so far. So just for the TV series, I may do one for the comic book series later. If you guys are interested in seeing that, write in the comments below. Will be totally different from the TV series, you know, version, even though some of the spots may be the same with number 1, which is kind of obvious. So number 10, we're going to start off number 10. That's going to be Glenn. Yeah, I do still feel like Glenn's one of the best characters. He has not had a lot of time recently in Season 5. Season 4, he had some more time, but he's always consistently been there throughout the series. He's, you know, one of the first people that Rick met in the zombie apocalypse, and he's been a solid character. He's had that great relationship with Maggie, which we've seen a lot, and I'm expecting to get him a lot more. I'm expecting for him to get a lot more time coming up in the second half of Season 5 into Season 6. So he's going to be number 10 for me, is Glenn. He's still a great character, and you know, he's an easy character to like. He's very likable, I find. You know, he's very kind of normal, likable, and just kind of a fun, you know, happy-go-lucky type of character. At least, well, not always, but for the most part, he's positive. You know, maybe not as positive as Bob, but he's pretty positive in the zombie apocalypse, which is good to see. So he's number 10. Number 9 is going to be Hershel. Yeah, man, Hershel was a really, really great character in the series. Really brought in kind of what they're trying to do, I think, with Tyrese, but it just doesn't seem to be working for me anyway, which is kind of that human aspect. Dale as well did that earlier on. You know, just kind of that fatherly figure for Rick, that voice of reason and morality in the group. And yeah, I mean, Hershel's awesome. What they finished up with in Season 4 halfway with Too Far Gone, he had some really great time. He's a really great character, and I think he's one of the most memorable in the entire series, so I'm going to put him at number 9. Number 8, we're going to go a different route with this one, is going to be Merle. He's still on the list for me. He was higher before, but, you know, as season season 3 is starting to fizzle out in my memory. I got to watch it again. I got to watch the rest. I've watched a few. I got to continue with that. He still was one of the coolest characters in the series, man. He's like a season 3 character. I'd say, he was in season 1, of course, getting started there, and then they brought him back, and just so much fun. Unpredictable, going from kind of that bad guy, kind of more relatable bad guy to, because of his brother, almost like a good guy, to sacrificing himself in the end in what was one of the most action-packed and badass sequences in all The Walking Dead when he attacks the governor and his men. Killed so many survivors. He's probably the survivor on this list with the most kill counts. Well, maybe we'll get to some others after. But he's gonna be close. He either has the most, or he's probably runner up, or somewhere around there, because he had killed, I think they said like 22 or 21 plus the member of the governor's group, the people he killed when he attacked them, which would have been another several. I used to know the exact count, but it's in the high 20s of actual survivors, not zombies, actual survivors. So he's a badass dude, and he was cool as hell. I really like Michael Rooker's Merle. Michael Rooker by himself, he's awesome, and that character was amazing. So that's going to be number 8. Number 7, it's going to be the governor. He's moved up a couple slots for me. He's still there. Still the TV series' most recognizable villain. Yes, we've had Gareth, who was awesome. Yes, Don was okay. We had others, Shane, if you consider him to be one. But the governor was a really fearsome, intimidating, smart villain. And I really like how they used him in the series. The only thing that was a little weird or clunky was how he kind of left and then came back. I still feel a little weird about that. I'm not sure how I feel about it 100%. But I did like to see Too Far Gone, of course. I like to see how they kind of brought him back up, built him back up from when he was kind of broken down. And, they could have gone a lot of different routes with him, but still, David Morrissey's performance and how the character is likable to a degree. You can follow him to a degree, and you can relate to him to a degree, and then he just does things that are, over the top that you can't. At the end of the day, he's evil, and he doesn't care. He sees other people as the enemy regardless, and I'm thinking of checking out the books, Rise of the Governor. There's a couple of them. I haven't read them all the way through, but definitely the Governor, David Morrissey, for me, he's my favorite villain in the series, even though people can point out that maybe his motivations don't always make sense, or, he handles things differently at different times. He goes through a lot of evolution as well, but he's still a great villain. So that's number 7. Number 6 is going to be Morgan. Yeah, man. Morgan is an awesome character, and he's slowly moving up the list. If this was a favorite characters list, he'd be higher on mine, but I think he's one of the best characters in the series. I mean, he's there from the beginning. He kind of goes away for a while, and then he kind of comes back in, and you can see as soon as he shows up, even he gets a scene or a couple scenes in a half season, people are just really excited to see what they've got planned for Morgan, and I am too. I'm hoping he becomes a full-on season regular in season 6. I'm hoping he shows up in the second half of season 5, and they make him a full-on regular, and he gets a few seasons, because he's one of the most interesting characters in all the series. He's the only one that spent that much time by himself, and the only one that had to completely fend for himself all this time, all the way through. I mean, Michonne did for a while too, yeah, but he's been there all the time, by himself, after his son in that, right? So, man, I cannot wait to see Morgan return, and he's a really, really relatable, fun, interesting, crazy kind of character, and I can't wait to see more with him. So that's number 6. Number 5 is going to be Michonne. Yeah, really strong female in the series, really relatable, really, I thought about Andrea in the list, and I'm like, no, Michonne, got to go with Michonne, man. She's a great character. She's fun to see kill zombies. She's tough as nails. She's very likable. We get to see her relationship with Carl, her relationship with the other characters. Really cool character, and, she's been through some stuff, too, like Morgan, being on her own for a long time, being part of that Andrea, Governor, Woodbury story arc, just some great stuff all the way through, and, a really fun survivor. Hopefully she'll be in the series for a really long time, because I really like to see Denai Guerrero. She does a great job. So that's number 5. Number 4 is going to be Carol. Yeah, Carol just jumped out of nowhere. She wasn't even on my list before, but seeing what she did in the first half of season 5, like in the premiere especially, was a character-defining episode, really, I would say. I mean, she had the stuff before with Karen and David. She kind of left and came back with the Grove, but she's just really had a lot more concentration, and she's always been there in the series, you know, and with Sophia and Ed and all that. Amazing character. Goes from, you know, the one victim type, you know, person to an insanely strong female, insanely strong. So I've really enjoyed what they've done with Carol, and I think she's one of the best characters in the show. She's kind of an unlikely type hero, a character that, you know, you thought maybe would have been killed off way sooner, maybe wouldn't have even survived very long. I didn't think she was going to, and has become one of the most badass characters in the series. And I always keep thinking she's going to die, and she just doesn't. You know, she just doesn't. Great character. Number 4. Number 3 is going to be Shane. Yeah, Shane's still on the list, still near the top. John Bernthal. You know, amazing acting still to this very day. Memorable, made season 2 an incredible season, even though, you know, the farm and stuff, you guys have heard my complaints with season 2. But still, nevertheless, John Bernthal's Shane was an incredible character, man. Really awesome character. Anyway, I've talked about him enough, so I won't go into detail with that. Number 2 is going to be Daryl Dixon. Yeah, of course, Norman Reedus is Daryl. Unique character to the TV series. Awesome character, putting him close to the top. You know, he kind of adds that little bit of that kind of action star type, you know, character, and not Rambo per se, even though Carol's a little bit more Rambo this season. But, I mean, he did destroy a tank. You know, he had his brother Merle, you know, kind of not really a relationship with Beth, but, yeah, well, kind of like, you know, really cared for and then losing her. And just, man, Norman Reedus as Daryl has been incredible throughout the series. Came out of nowhere. Sometimes I consider putting him at number 1, but, you know, number 2, it makes sense, because number 1, it would have to be Rick. Of course, Andrew Lincoln's Rick. I mean, he's the lead character. He should be the best character in the series. He should get the most time, and he should be the most fleshed out. And for the most part, with regards to The Walking Dead, depending on the season, if you look at the whole, he is, and he has been. So, there's my list. Going from 10 is Glenn, Herschel 9, Merle 8, the Governor 7, 6 Morgan, 5 Michonne, 4 Carol, 3 Shane, 2 Daryl, and number 1, Rick Grimes. Top 10 greatest characters in The Walking Dead, based on my opinion. Lots of others there, you know, of course, too. Like I mentioned, Beth, there's Carl, Andrea, Lori, Maggie, you know, Tyrese, and Sasha, and all the others, right? So let me know what your guys, maybe top few favorite, if you want to do a 10. Write it in the comments below. Write your top 10 greatest characters, which ones you think are the best. Not necessarily your favorites or which ones you enjoy the most, but which ones you think were the best done in the show and were really great characters that really elevated the show and improved it. Let me know what your guys are, maybe top few or 10, whatever you guys like. And yeah, happy holidays to you guys. Christmas Eve, yeah, cannot go wrong. Have a Merry Christmas to anybody who celebrates anything different, you know, either Hanukkah or whatever, you know, New Year or whatever. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy your holidays. And yeah, I probably won't release a video tomorrow. At least I'm not planning on. Sometimes I sporadically just get the urge to do something, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So if not, have your guys a Merry Christmas. And if you like the video, please thumb it up below. If you want to help support the channel, please share it. Please favorite it. And that's it for this one, guys. See you for the next one. As always, it's Trev. Saying peace.